1 in every 59 children are diagnosed with autism. I don't have anything profound to say, but this is just my story of being the parent of that 1 in 59. On July 24th, 2006, I gave birth to my first child, a beautiful baby girl, Ava Lavonne. As a first-time parent, I was pretty clueless, but retrospectively looking back, there was always something different with Ava from birth on. At her first doctor visit, I think it was her 3-week checkup, they had heard a heart murmur, and they investigated a little bit more to find that she actually had an atrial and ventricle septal defect. What this meant was that she had 2 large holes in her heart, one in the atrium wall and one in the ventricle wall, which meant that she basically didn't have that middle wall of her heart. Doctors were waiting to see if the holes in her heart would grow together, as in some cases they do, but by 7 months old, Ava only weighed 14 pounds and was in failure to thrive. In February of 2007, it was do or die time, and she needed to go in for open heart surgery. After Ava's surgery, she actually bounced back really quickly, and I mean literally, she was in her jumperoo bouncing within 5 days of the surgery. But there was still something off. Milestones were actually just still being missed. The light and the curiosity within Ava's eyes started fading away. Talks of autism around the age of 1.5 started to arise. I had no clue what autism was. So I looked it up and I researched it, and I thought, no, this is not my baby, not my Ava. And I was in complete denial. By the age of 2, the red flags were everywhere. And it was time to stop denying it and call in the local AEA. I still remember during her evaluation, Ava was sitting at the base of the stairs, fixated for 20 minutes on twirling a string. And I kept screaming in my head, Ava, stop it. Show her that you're normal. Come interact with us. Look at us in the eyes. Make eye contact, as all of these red flags from the AEA person just kept being echoed through my head. I was basically pleading for my child just to snap out of it. But that was the day that Ava got the label of autism. I was in utter shock. I had no idea what to do, what resources I could look for. And, back then, it's not that long ago, but it was long enough ago that there wasn't a whole lot out there, and everything that was out there was new. Doctors didn't really even consider this a medical condition and wouldn't really treat any medical parts of the autism. So everything was kind of, it was a fight. But regardless of that, I went ahead and I tried everything holistic, all the fads, the diets, the therapies, the medications, not in hope for a cure, but a hope for that light to come back in her eyes. All I've ever wanted to hear from Ava was her to just say, Mom. I have yet to hear that to this day. This kind of strange mourning process that you go through as a parent when you do get information like this about your child. it's kind of a mourning process where the life that you thought you could give to your child, or the life that you thought your child would have, it's dead and gone. And you have to mourn that as part of the process. But you also have to keep moving. You have to keep fighting for this child to get them what they need to live a productive and happy life on their own terms. There are so many fights with schools, local agencies, the state government, doctors, therapists, and it just was time and time and time again, closed doors in our faces. We would make so much progress and then completely regress backwards. And it was exhausting.
Tell me your secrets and ask me your questions. Now let's go back to the start. Running in circles, coming in tails.
That's fine.
Heads on the sides, apart.
Good job.
Nobody said it was easy. It's such a shame for us to part. Nobody said it was easy. No one ever said it would be this hard.
Very good. Let's try that.
Take me back to the start.
Early age, Ava started showing pretty significant signs of aggression. And I'm saying probably as early as age 2. She is so strong. She's superhuman strong sometimes. But there was biting, hair pulling, pinching, self-injury where she would bash her head into the wall or the door jams, destroying property. And it was just like a Tasmanian devil full of rage going through the house. And it was so scary because I didn't know how to help her. But when Ava is happy, her smile just lights up the room. Her belly laughs are contagious. Her love for markers and making messes and secret haircuts with the scissors when mom isn't paying attention. All things sensory. When we had good days, they were so good. And that's what made it so we could survive. Every day was hard for everybody, including Ava. But by the age of 11, she was just so strong. She was bigger, she was stronger, she was just more dangerous. We didn't leave the house if we didn't have to. And when we had to, sometimes it became a life-threatening situation. Things that Ava took joy in, she no longer found joy in. The child that I knew was no longer the child that I knew. She was miserable. Help and resources just dwindled down to nothing because her rage was just unbearable and unmanageable. Diets and therapies and medications were all failing. Schools and therapies and doctors were failing. Everything was out of control. In May of 2018, reluctantly, Ava was admitted into the University of Iowa Hospital's emergency room. This was the only way to get her into the psychiatric unit, to get her evaluated both psychiatric and medical. Medical would take care of some of those behavior medications that she had been placed on and that had failed. And what happened is we ended up sitting in the ER for 3 days waiting for a bed to open up in the unit. Once she was placed in the unit, she was evaluated medically, and they started, dosing her medication out differently, and things started looking better. But during the evaluation period, Ava's rage came back. Medications weren't working. And staff were suited with helmets and arm guards and chest guards for when Ava attacked them. And it got to the point where Ava was deemed too dangerous to come home. Ava spent an entirety of 5 weeks in the psychiatric unit at the university. Most of it was a blur, just because I was on the phone constantly fighting with the state. Once we knew that she was too dangerous to come home, trying to get her a residential spot close to home. It was just every day, all day, on the phones. The state failed, and Ava didn't get a spot in Iowa. On June 18th, 5 weeks after admitting her into the psychiatric unit, Ava was placed in Carbondale, Illinois, which is about an 8-hour drive, give or take. Ava was my everyday. She was my normal. For her to be so far away it was so devastating for me. I can't imagine how she feels. We all feel at some point in time, through parenthood, that we fail our children. And maybe we do. But we all just want our kids to be happy. All I ever want her to know is that I didn't give up on her. There's still fighting that needs to be done for Ava. It won't ever stop. And I'll see to that. There are days now, with Ava being so far away, that are hard. Really, really very hard. And I know many people have had to, but I just don't think that it's right for any parent to have to say goodbye to their child. And I don't think it's right for any parent to have to do it over and over again. But Ava has opportunities now that I wouldn't have been able to provide to her. Not myself, not the state of Iowa, not the school systems. Ava has the ability now to receive therapies that are tailored to her needs. And finally, she has open doors for opportunities instead of so many closed ones. And there's nothing more that a parent could ask for their child than the opportunity to be who they are and to be happy with it.
From dusk till dawn, you soldiered on, like each day was a gift. Oh, you led us strong, but you couldn't hold on, and that's fine, 'cause each day was a gift.